This morning I'm going to Cambridge, Massachusetts to pick up a old antique phone booth from England.
Come on, Mark. Whatever happened to helping a little girl's birthday wish come true?
Good job, guys.
For 8 seasons, truckers battled across America's highways for the biggest, most dangerous loads on A&E's shipping wars. Roy Garber, Mark Springer, and Jennifer Brennan became household names, hauling million-dollar cargo while cameras captured every mile. Then, without warning, it all came crashing down. The entire cast vanished. What really happened behind the scenes? Join us as we expose the dark reason shipping wars disappeared. In 2012, reality television was transforming. While shows about pawn shops, storage units, and alligator hunting dominated cable networks, A&E executives were searching for the next blue-collar profession they could turn into ratings gold. Their search led them to an online shipping marketplace called uShip.com, where independent truckers competed in virtual auctions for unusual, oversized, and challenging cargo. What caught producers' attention wasn't just the logistics of hauling massive items across the country, but the colorful personalities of these independent contractors. These weren't corporate trucking companies. These were entrepreneurs with their own rigs, their own rules, and everything on the line with each bid. The formula was perfect. Real stakes, genuine characters, and the inherent drama of deadline-driven transportation. When Shipping Wars premiered on January 10, 2012, viewers connected immediately with the authentic characters and real-world challenges they faced. This wasn't the manufactured drama of housewives throwing wine at each other. These were hardworking Americans navigating the open road while dealing with mechanical breakdowns, unreasonable clients, and loads that defied physics. At the heart of the show's success was its perfectly balanced cast. Roy Garber emerged as the undisputed star, a quick-witted veteran trucker with decades of experience and a no-nonsense approach. His catchphrases and one-liners, delivered with his signature scowl, made him an instant fan favorite. His beloved cat Muffy, who often accompanied him on long hauls, added unexpected heart to his gruff exterior. Mark Springer represented the ambitious hustler, always seeking bigger profits and more challenging loads. With his imposing physical presence and business-minded approach, he exemplified the entrepreneurial spirit that defined independent trucking. Jennifer Brennan, the Texas cowgirl, broke gender barriers in the male-dominated industry, specializing in livestock transportation and proving she could handle any load the men could. Rookie Jarrett Joyce provided the perfect counterbalance, learning the ropes, making mistakes, and giving viewers someone to root for as he grew his business. What truly set Shipping Wars apart from the reality TV landscape was its genuine workplace competition. Unlike staged scenarios on other shows, these truckers were bidding on actual jobs with real financial consequences. Lowball a bid to win the auction, and you might end up working for pennies. Bid too high, and watch a competitor snag the profitable haul. The educational aspect of the show surprised many viewers who found themselves learning about the intricacies of the logistics industry. From weight distribution to securing unusual cargo, from navigating DOT regulations to calculating profit margins, audiences gained insight into a critical yet often invisible industry that keeps America moving. The diverse loads featured on the show, from priceless antiques to bizarre art installations, from military equipment to live animals, showcased the extraordinary variety of items that require specialized transportation. Each episode took viewers on a cross-country journey, highlighting America's diverse landscapes and the unique challenges of navigating everything from crowded urban centers to remote rural locations. At its peak, Shipping Wars averaged 1.5 to 2 million viewers per episode. Impressive numbers for a cable reality show. The format was so successful that international versions appeared in countries like Australia and the UK. Independent trucking, once an anonymous profession, had become mainstream entertainment, and the cast members transformed from unknown contractors to recognized celebrities who were stopped for autographs at truck stops across America. While viewers at home saw the excitement of unusual loads and cross-country adventures, a more troubling reality was unfolding behind the cameras. The transition from independent trucker to television personality came with unexpected costs that began taking their toll on the cast. Most concerning was the deteriorating health of the show's breakout star, Roy Garber. What many viewers didn't realize was that Roy had been battling serious health issues, including complications from diabetes, that were increasingly affecting his ability to handle the physical demands of long-distance hauling. Close friends and family members later revealed that Roy's weight and mobility issues were becoming more apparent with each season, creating a difficult situation where the show's biggest personality was struggling to perform the very job that made him famous. Sources close to production claim that despite medical professionals advising Roy to reduce his workload, show producers pressured him to maintain his grueling schedule to meet filming deadlines. His family grew increasingly worried about his well-being, especially when hauling dangerous loads or traveling through remote areas where medical assistance would be difficult to find. Yet Roy, known for his stubborn determination, pushed himself to continue rather than disappoint viewers or admit weakness on camera. Financial exploitation emerged as another significant concern for cast members. Despite the show's success and profitable advertising revenue, drivers were reportedly paid minimal appearance fees compared to the show's overall profits. Industry insiders revealed that cast members received around $2,000 to $2,000 to $2,000 to $3,000 per episode, substantial as supplemental income, but hardly life-changing money considering the disruption to their actual businesses. The reality was that filming schedules frequently interrupted real hauling jobs that would have been more profitable. Equipment suffered accelerated wear and tear from constant filming requirements, camera mounting, and stage scenarios that often pushed vehicles beyond normal operating parameters. Insurance complications arose when filming particularly dangerous loads, with some carriers threatening to drop coverage when they discovered their clients were participating in television production. As the show progressed, the delicate balance between authenticity and entertainment began tipping toward the latter. Former crew members have admitted that producers increasingly pushed for more dramatic scenarios to maintain ratings. What started as documenting real shipments evolved into manufacturing conflicts, staging mechanical breakdowns, and creating artificial deadlines that made no business sense in the real world of logistics. Cast members found themselves asked to take routes that were inefficient or illogical simply to capture more scenic footage or to ensure conflict with other drivers. Real customers were gradually replaced with production-arranged loads specifically designed to create challenges for the cameras. While audiences believed they were watching unfiltered reality, the truth was increasingly being manipulated to fit narrative demands. The personal toll on cast members became evident as seasons progressed. The constant presence of camera crews invaded not just their professional lives, but their personal relationships as well. Family members grew resentful of the intrusion, and the privacy that most truckers valued disappeared entirely. Cast members reported difficulty maintaining their actual trucking businesses while meeting filming obligations, creating financial stress that the show's compensation didn't adequately address. Mental health concerns surfaced as manufactured conflicts created real tensions between drivers who had previously maintained professional relationships. The pressure to perform for cameras while handling genuinely dangerous cargo created anxiety and stress that followed drivers long after filming stopped. Several cast members later admitted to seeking therapy to deal with the aftermath of their sudden fame and the distortion of their professional identity. Perhaps most damaging was the industry backlash as professional trucking organizations criticized the show's portrayal of their profession. Safety experts expressed concerns about scenes showing drivers taking risks or bending regulations for entertainment value. Federal transportation authorities reportedly increased scrutiny of some hauling practices depicted on the show, creating additional headaches for drivers when they returned to regular work. The reputation of independent trucking, already challenging to maintain in a highly regulated industry, suffered from the show's emphasis on conflict and crisis over professionalism and safety. What viewers perceived as exciting television was, in reality, taking a devastating toll on the very people who had made the show successful. The glossy production couldn't hide the growing cracks in the foundation of what had once been an authentic look at America's shipping industry. The simmering tensions behind shipping wars reached a breaking point on January 17, 2014, when devastating news rocked the cast, crew, and fans. Roy Garber, the 49-year-old face of the show, suffered a massive heart attack related to his long-standing diabetes complications and passed away suddenly. The show's biggest personality, an undisputed fan favorite, was gone, leaving a void that would prove impossible to fill. Roy's death wasn't just a personal tragedy for those who knew him. It represented a fundamental crisis for the production. Filming was immediately suspended as network executives scrambled to determine the future of their hit show. Cast members, already questioning aspects of their participation, now faced the sobering reality of mortality that transcended any concerns about contracts or ratings. The audience mourned Roy's passing with surprising intensity for a reality TV figure. Social media overflowed with tributes to the sharp-tongued trucker who had invited viewers into his cab for years. His catchphrases and no-nonsense approach had connected with fans who appreciated his authenticity in a genre often criticized for manipulation. Without Roy's presence, the dynamic that had defined shipping wars was irreparably altered. In the aftermath of this tragedy, individual cast members faced difficult decisions about their continued participation. Mark Springer, who had already expressed frustration about his portrayal and the increasing producer intervention, began pushing for more control over how he was represented on screen. Jennifer Brennan found herself torn between the platform the show provided for demonstrating women's capabilities in trucking and her desire to focus on building her actual transportation business without cameras documenting every challenge. Jarrett Joyce, who had grown from rookie to established professional throughout the series, began exploring other opportunities that would allow him more stability than the feast or famine reality of both independent trucking and reality television production schedules. The cohesive cast that had created the show's chemistry was fracturing under the weight of grief and growing professional concerns. A and E attempted to salvage the situation by introducing new drivers to the roster, but viewers quickly rejected these replacements as pale imitations of the original personalities. The authentic relationships and histories that had developed organically among the original cast couldn't be manufactured with newcomers, regardless of how colorful their backgrounds or how unusual their loads. The magic that had made Shipping Wars appointment viewing was evaporating with each cast change. Network executives found themselves at a crossroads. What had begun as an inexpensive, authentic reality show had evolved into a more complex and costly production with declining viewership and increasing behind-the-scenes challenges. The simplicity that had made the early season successful, real truckers doing their actual jobs, had been lost in the pursuit of more dramatic content. And Roy's passing had removed the personality anchor that held the show together even through its transformations. By the time Season 8 arrived in 2015, Shipping Wars had become a shadow of its former self. With most of the original cast either departed or diminished in screen time, the show struggled to maintain its identity. New drivers failed to capture the authentic chemistry that had made the early seasons compelling, and viewers noticed the difference. Ratings, once consistently above 1.5 million viewers per episode, plummeted to under 1 million, signaling a fatal decline for a cable reality show. Industry insiders revealed that the show had lost its genuine feel as producer intervention became more heavy-handed. What had once been authentic documentation of the shipping industry now felt manufactured, with contrived situations and conflicts that lacked the genuine stakes of the early seasons. Longtime fans commented in online forums that they could tell when scenarios were staged, destroying the illusion of unfiltered reality that had made the show appealing. Behind the scenes, A and E executives were reassessing their programming strategy. The network was shifting focus toward scripted content, responding to industry trends and the increasing production costs of reality programming. The reality TV market had become oversaturated, with countless shows following the blueprint Shipping Wars had helped establish. What had been novel in 2012 was commonplace by 2015, and the cost-benefit analysis no longer favored renewal. In a move that surprised both fans and industry observers, A&E opted for a quiet cancellation without an official announcement or farewell season. After the final episode of Season 8 aired, the show simply stopped. No finale, no reunion special, no proper closure for the fans who had followed these truckers for years. The network moved on to new programming, and the Shipping Wars brand faded from promotional materials. The remaining original cast members transitioned back to their trucking careers with varying degrees of public visibility. Mark Springer returned to independent hauling, occasionally appearing at industry events, but largely stepping back from the public eye. Jennifer Brennan continued building her specialized hauling business, leveraging her television experience into new opportunities within the transportation sector. What had been a successful television franchise ended not with celebration of its accomplishments, but with quiet dissolution, leaving fans wondering what had happened to the truckers they had welcomed into their homes for 8 seasons. In the years since Shipping Wars disappeared from television, the former cast members have pursued divergent paths while maintaining connections to the industry that first brought them fame. Mark Springer continues operating his trucking business, focusing on specialized heavy hauls that utilize his extensive experience. While he maintains a low profile compared to his television days, he occasionally appears at trucking industry events where fans still recognize him from the show. His social media presence remains minimal, suggesting a deliberate step back from public life after years in the spotlight. Jennifer Brennan has remained perhaps the most visible of the former cast, still active in specialized hauling while becoming an advocate for women in the traditionally male-dominated trucking industry. She leveraged her television exposure into opportunities to speak at industry conventions about breaking gender barriers in transportation. Today, she runs her own transportation company, specializing in the livestock hauling that first defined her role on the show. Jarrett Joyce initially pursued other television opportunities after Shipping Wars ended, but eventually returned to regular trucking work. Unlike some cast members who expressed ambivalence about their time on reality TV, Joyce has stayed connected with the trucking community and occasionally references his time on the show positively in interviews. The legacy of Shipping Wars continues through reruns that still air occasionally on cable networks and streaming platforms. The show's influence can be seen in the wave of blue-collar reality programming that followed, with networks continuing to seek authentic workplace environments that can be transformed into entertainment. Within the trucking community, the show is remembered for bringing attention to the specialized world of independent hauling, though opinions remain divided on whether that attention accurately represented the profession. Roy Garber's memory is particularly honored within the trucking community, with some independent haulers still referencing his techniques and approaches when training newcomers to the industry. His combination of gruff expertise and undeniable skill continues to represent an ideal for many in the profession, ensuring that his impact extends far beyond his television appearance. Where are your favorite Shipping Wars drivers today? Did A&E make the right decision ending the show? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.